When you call out their bad behavior, they're going to do more number on you, and they're going to tell you that you are the difficult one, you are the wrong one, you are taking things in a wrong way, you are oversensitive, yeah, you are someone who is unable to adjust and learn and compromise, you are the difficult one, yeah, you are the problem. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about why it is difficult to accept that your loved one can be a narcissist. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So a couple of days back, someone asked me, though I see the signs, I feel miserable in the relationship, but it's very difficult for me to accept and believe that so and so, I mean the loved one or the parent or the partner, is a narcissist. It gets very difficult for me. Yeah, every time I go in that direction, where I have to, see them for who they are, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, and it really is very unsettling for me. Yeah, so I just again, withdraw, and I don't, see them as the abuser, but I start searching for tiny bit of good things that they have done for me, and I start seeing them for those things that they have done. I start assessing them on the basis of the tiny bit of goods that they have done, even though I know it is very superficial, there is nothing deep in the relationship, but it's very difficult for me to accept that my loved one is a narcissist. Yeah, and I'm sure we all must have been there at some point. It was difficult for me as well when I was with my family. My family was, very narcissistic. Parents were very narcissistic, and it was very difficult for me. Though I used to feel miserable, though I was not treated right on a regular basis, I was abused, exploited, antagonized. I mean, on all levels. But still, it was very difficult for me to, accept the fact that my loved one can be the abuser. Yeah, I used to keep searching, for the tiny bit of good that was there. Yeah, some tiny bit of things they did for me, I used to, recall those things, and I used to feel good. Yeah, it was very difficult for me to see them for who they are. It was very difficult for me to see them as the perpetrator, as the abuser. It was very unacceptable. And I'm sure it must have been unacceptable for a lot of you. Now, we need to understand the start of every narcissistic relationship is very good. Yeah, that's the honeymoon phase, love bombing phase. Everything is very good, and you are given all that attention, validation, you are seen and heard, and you feel as if the narcissist is able to see you and understand you. Yeah, that's what goes inside of us when we are in the initial stage of a narcissistic relationship, that this person knows me, ins and out. This person knows me very well. This person really cares for me, for my likes, for my dislikes. This person makes me feel seen and heard. And this is because narcissists are manipulative individuals. Once they see their target, I mean, whatever the setup is, whether it's a narcissistic parent and a child, whether it's a narcissistic spouse, they see their target, and then they start the conditioning. And the conditioning starts with love bombing, all good stuff, I mean superficial good stuff, and lots of admiration, attention, validation. And you would almost feel as if the narcissist is your confidant. Yeah, the narcissist is your soulmate. The narcissist is the perfect partner for you. The narcissist is the only one in this world who knows you and who understands you. And this is basically to establish control over the victims. Narcissists are not that good. Yeah, They do all of this to trap their victim. They do all of this to keep the victim confused and, to get them addicted to them. I mean, the narcissist. This is the narcissist way. Now, when the love bombing phase and the honeymoon phase gets over, then comes, other phases, whether at all, if the narcissist is interested, or if you're able to give him, okay, everything is fine. If the narcissist gets disinterested, if the narcissist is not getting what he or she wants out of you, they're going to ignore you, scapegoat you, do all sorts of things. So the initial phase is very good, very rosy, very beautiful. You feel good, we feel good, lots of dopamine, oxytocin in our system, and we feel as if our life is set, it's perfect. And then comes the roller coaster ride, where we are invalidated, minimized, where we are compared, yeah, where we are antagonized, where we are emotionally, physically, psychologically abused, where we are gaslit on a regular basis. And all of this is because we fail to do things the way how the narcissist expects out of us. Yeah, only then we are, bombarded with gaslighting, more manipulation, triangulation, minimization, invalidation, passive aggressive behavior, silent treatment. So basically, the entire model, or you can say the entire process, or the way how the narcissist controls their victim or conditions their victim, is that they are going to give all that love and attention, and then they are going to withhold all of that. Yeah, then you are starving, then you are not treated right, you are exposed to a lot of stressful situation and condition. Your body produces lots of cortisol, and you really feel messed up. You get into fight or flight mode, and you are stuck in that state. Yeah, and then the narcissist validates you. Yeah, so this is the narcissist way of conditioning you and training you to be on hook and comply to them. Yeah, they will first give all that love and affection, then they will withhold all that love and affection. Yeah, confiscate everything. They will treat you as if you're invisible. You crave that love and attention. You like that. We all like that. Yeah, we love being validated. We love being appreciated for our efforts. It motivates us. We feel good. But narcissists are expert in using all of the good stuff against you. Yeah, in a healthy relationship, we disagree, we validate, we don't do numbers on each other. But in a narcissistic relationship, narcissist has all the liberty to do a number on you, and when you call out their bad behavior, they're going to do more number on you, and they're going to tell you that you are the difficult one, you are the wrong one, you are taking things in a wrong way, you are oversensitive. Yeah, you are someone who is unable to adjust and learn and compromise. You are the difficult one. Yeah, you are the problem. So this is what the narcissist does. So this is what makes the narcissistic relationship very addictive. The start is all about love, appreciation, validation, admiration, and in between, all of a sudden, all of these stuff vanishes. Yeah, on a chemical level also, you are starved, your body is just flooded with cortisol. So this creates that addictive pattern, or this creates that addiction. Yeah, where we are addicted to the narcissist. We keep doing more and more to get that love and affection that is withheld. We try and prove ourselves. Let me do more, let me push boundaries, let me go to any extent and make her happy, make him happy, get his validation, get her validation. This withholding love and affection, then releasing or giving tiny bits of crumbs in form of love, affection, validation, admiration. And of course, we are starved, we are starving of all that love and affection. And when tiny bits of crumbs is thrown at us, we mistake it for love. Yeah, and we fall for it, and then we feel good. Our body releases oxytocin, dopamine, we really feel good when we are seen and heard after prolonged exposure of stress and all of the bad stuff. When we are validated, we feel good, we feel relaxed. Yeah, it's a relief for us, for our system. So this kind of a pattern, this kind of a process that the narcissist takes help of to train and condition their victim is what makes the narcissistic relationship addictive. Plus lots of gaslighting, lots of manipulation, emotional manipulation, where the narcissist gaslights you to such an extent where you begin to feel and believe that you are nothing without the narcissist. Yeah, you won't be able to function without the narcissist. Your life is only with the narcissist. Yeah, whether it's a family, whether it's a love relationship, spouse, husband, wife, whatever it is, you are stuck with that narcissist. The narcissist conditions you and trains you to shapeshift, yeah, to suit his or her needs and desires, to prioritize the narcissist and to betray your own self, your needs and desires. Whenever you have genuine needs and desires, and when you express all of these things, you are shamed and made to feel guilty of having genuine needs and desires. Yeah, so it's nowhere close to a healthy setup. Narcissistic relationships are very antagonistic in nature, and they damage you on a lot of level, whether it is emotional, whether it is physical, whether it is at a chemical level, whether it is at a spiritual level. Narcissistic relationships are damaging. So this withholding love and affection, and then throwing tiny bit of crumbs, and the victims misunderstanding crumbs for love and affection, this is what makes the relationship more addictive. Now, when we are trained and conditioned in this way, there comes a time when we are deeply engrossed in that relationship, we are just stuck in that relationship. We strongly think and believe that this is how thing is, and this is how life is for me, and I need to just be the way I am, and without him or her, life is nothing. It will be miserable without him or her. Now, in a narcissistic relationship, uh, there is lots of manipulation and gaslighting. First, withholding of love and affection. Yeah, on a chemical level also, a lot of things are happening, and because of which you are getting addicted to the narcissist. Plus lots of manipulation and gaslighting really keeps you confused. Also, the narcissist is never to be seen alone. The narcissist always builds and has his or her ecosystem around them that enables them, that normalizes and justifies their abusive behavior, that keeps gaslighting the victim. So what, she's your mother, after all she did this. So what, he's your father, after all he did this. So what, he's your husband. So what, she's your wife. So these gaslighting thing also plays an important role as to why we are stuck in that relationship. Yeah, we are made to believe that it's okay if they abuse you. Yeah, after all they have done things for you as well, so that gives them the liberty to abuse you. So if they do tiny bit of good, it's okay for them to abuse you. Yeah, this is how it gets appropriated with time, culturally, socially, religiously, and in a lot of ways we see that this becomes the new normal. Yeah, so a narcissistic relationship has a lot of manipulation, has a lot of gaslighting. There are people around who keep pushing you back in that narcissistic relationship. There are people who also invalidate you and in return gaslight you. Yeah, that standing up against the narcissist is not a good thing. After all, the narcissist is your this, the narcissist is your that. All that gaslighting, manipulation, triangulating things So overall, a narcissistic relationship is a relationship without any kind of clarity. It is based on manipulation, triangulation, gaslighting, or you can, in simple terms, say that these relationships are based on confusion. The victim is in that confused state. The victim is unable to come to a conclusion, because every time the victim tries to come to conclusion, the victim is gaslit. Yeah, the victim is gaslit to such an extent that the victim begins to, doubt himself or herself. Yeah, the victim begins to doubt his or her action, thoughts and feelings. Yeah, that's how damaging gaslighting is. So, the core of every narcissistic relationship is lots of manipulation. Yeah, and gaslighting. So, this is also one of the reason why narcissistic relationships are, filled with confusion. There is zero clarity. You feel that you are being abused, but you cannot, stand up against them, because they have done this for you, they have done that for you, they are your this, they are your that. So it gets very difficult. Yeah, so a narcissistic relationship is addictive because the narcissist is expert in manipulating their victim. A narcissistic relationship is addictive because the narcissist withhold love and affection and release tiny bits in forms of crumbs to keep you on hook, to trap you and to condition you to comply to them. Yeah, that's their way of training you, to teach you to shape shift to suit their needs and desires. Otherwise all that love and affection will vanish. Yeah, so in order to keep, those tiny bit of love and affection, you will do more and more and more. Plus we know on a chemical level a lot of thing happens when you are in a narcissistic relationship. Plus regular gaslighting, plus the entire ecosystem is there to confuse you. Yeah, to make you doubt and question your own thoughts and feelings. So what do you expect out of such a relationship? I mean, would you have any bit of clarity? I don't think so. You will be living in doubt. You will just be hoping that one fine day things are going to be okay, things are going to be stable, calm, and that day never comes. Narcissistic relationships are all about abuse, and there is 8 to 10% of superficial good things. Yeah, basic things that they do for you. I mean, clothing, shelter. There is nothing deep, no deep conversation, no exchange of thoughts and ideas, no healthy expression of feelings and emotion. No, these things don't exist in a narcissistic relationship. Also, we need to, understand that the narcissist is not, the bad guy throughout the story or throughout the relationship. Sometimes the narcissist, model good behavior. Yeah, when they fear that you might run away, or when they fear that, you might, see who they are, and you might, come up to a conclusion, or you might, make a decision which will not be in their favor. They might, model good behavior, and that further confuses you. Yeah, you think that okay, now everything is fine, and after some time you realize that things are back to square one. So the narcissist has a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Yeah, they are not the bad guy throughout the story, throughout the relationship. Sometimes they appear to be as a good one. Narcissists have a, very unique ability to shapeshift. Whenever they see that they are losing their victim, they also shapeshift. Yeah, they shapeshift and model their best behavior, and that is not permanent, that is only for some time, and then again back to square one. They are again, toxic, vile, antagonistic, all of the bad stuff comes out. Yeah, so this is basically to keep the victims confused and keep the victims on hook. So to sum it up, all that aggressive manipulation, triangulation, gaslighting, all of this creates a kind of a cognitive dissonance, yeah, inside of these victims. Whereas in, the victim is unable to decide whether at all the narcissist is good or bad. Every time they feel miserable, they think that the narcissist is a bad guy. Someone comes and gaslights them, or in some of the cases the victims gaslight their own self. So what if she slapped me? After all, she cooks such good dishes for me. So what if he abused me? After all, he pays my bills. Yeah, so the victims also gaslight themselves because they get used to, they are surrounded by the narcissist ecosystem, the narcissist enablers, fellow narcissists, the narcissist flying monkeys, and everyone is just supporting and enabling the narcissist. No one is going to help you have clarity. No one is going to help you come out of that toxic cycle. Yeah, instead they are going to push in, gaslight you, and tell you that the narcissist is absolutely great, marvelous, amazing. Yeah, the narcissist is reacting because the narcissist is stressed. The narcissist is behaving wild and abusive because the narcissist has a difficult backstory. So forgive the narcissist. One day you will be rewarded. One day you will be seen and heard. One day the narcissist is going to change. So the entire ecosystem, the enablers, the gaslighters are going to keep gaslighting you. Yeah, and you are stuck. You keep hoping that the narcissist is going to change. One day things will be okay, normal, and you're going to have a good time, but that day never comes. Yeah, so all of this really makes it difficult for the victim to accept that their loved one is the abuser, perpetrator, or the narcissist. It's very difficult for us to accept, that our loved one can be an abuser, can be a perpetrator, or a narcissist. It's very difficult, yeah, because we live in a society, we are raised and we are conditioned to think and believe that a loved one is someone who always does things in your best interest. A loved one is someone who will always stand next to you. A loved one is someone who will always, do things for your greater good. Yeah. A loved one is always going to protect you. A loved one is always going to motivate you, encourage you. A loved one is going to do anything and everything, which is for your good. Yeah, we are made to believe all of these things. I get it. This is how it should be, and this is how healthy relationships should be. I mean, that's absolutely okay. But the most important thing that we miss is that you know if five fingers are not the same, how can we expect every relationship to be healthy? How can we expect everyone to think and behave and function the way how healthy individuals do? Yeah, good and bad exists. Some are very good, some are not that good, some are worse, some are not that bad. Yeah, so it's on a spectrum. So seeing things in one linear way is wrong. Yeah, relationships can be toxic, loved ones can be abusive. Yeah, we can't deny these things. Yeah, I mean, okay, we know the good qualities that we get to see in our loved one, or it's expected out of our loved one. But how can we deny and dismiss when we are abused by our loved one? Yeah, so I would say society has a very important role to play in pushing such narratives and pushing such I would say agendas that loved ones can never do harm, loved ones can never do something that will hurt you. I don't think that's the case. If your loved one is illiterate and if your loved one does something which is very unhealthy for you, I mean, how would you, view that situation if your loved one is, unable to differentiate between right and wrong, and if the loved one, does something which hurts you? How would you, view that situation? Would you say that it was for your greater good, or, would you take their abusive act and behavior as something which has deeper meaning? Would you just pardon them and forgive them for hurting you? Yeah. Would you tolerate that just because they are your loved one? A healthy individual won't. Yeah, there is something called, rationality inside of a healthy individual. Yeah, and that rational mind helps you to, differentiate, yeah, as to what good is, as to what bad is, as to what, good things your loved one is doing, as to what the bad things your loved one is doing which is hurting you. It is something which uh, you know uh, keeps your sanity intact, that rational mind. But if that is, muted, or if that is numbed, people will, come up with such generalized statements. Oh no, your loved one can never hurt you, your loved one can never abuse you, your loved one can never damage you. I, come across a lot of cases where parents abuse their children. Some of them, sell their children. Some of them, um, well, physically, abuse their children, verbally abuse their children. I come across, some of these abusive loved ones who are drunk, who are not in their senses, who beat their, spouse. And the society keeps enabling those, individuals. So what, he was high, so he just did this. So what, your parent did this, but they took care of you when you were small. I don't think, these kind of arguments make sense. Abuse is abuse. Yeah, even if your loved one is abusing, I mean, abuse is abuse. Just because your loved ones are abusing you doesn't mean that abuse transforms into love, a new genre of love. Yeah, that's not how things are. So, it is very essential to see things in a rational way. It's very essential to see things without any bias. It's very essential to see things the way it is, yeah, rather than finding some hidden deep meaning, rather than having these assumptions. Your loved one will always do good to you, your loved one will always, do things in your interest and for your greater good. I don't think, um, that's how things are in this world. Yeah, and we should not gaslight the victims with these kind of statements. I get it, there are good people, there are bad people, there are good actions, there are bad actions, activities, there are good things people do, there are bad things people do. Yeah, we can't, deny that. Just because I love someone, should I give that person a free pass to abuse me? I mean, should I turn a blind eye to all the abuse that my loved one is doing to me and to the others? I don't think so. Yeah, that's absolutely illogical. That's absolutely dumb and stupid. So, yes, good and bad exists, and a healthy individual is able to differentiate, yeah, between good and bad. A healthy individual is able to see what is healthy and what is toxic. A healthy individual is not blinded by love. A healthy individual is not, you know uh, blinded with, with this notion that my loved one can never do anything bad. Yeah, so, all of these, assumptions, gaslighting phrase, proverbs, these enablers, we are confused. And, by staying in that confused state for long, we experience a lot of cognitive dissonance. We do feel miserable, but it is very difficult for us to accept that our loved one can be abusive, our loved one can be the abuser. Yeah, plus the entire environment, society, ecosystem is, something which enables and aids the narcissist and gaslights you. So what do you expect? Would you be able to function like a healthy individual? No, you will be stuck, you will be trapped, and you will forever be confused. Even though you'll feel miserable and horrible on the inside, but you wouldn't, have the courage to, think on those lines. Yeah. If at all your mother could be the abuser, if at all, your father can be the perpetrator. We are trained and conditioned to, think and believe that our loved ones, our caregivers, our spouse, our, parents, our, friends, always, do things which is good for us. They love us and they will do good. I get it. Yes, they do love, and, loved ones are expected to do good for you. But there are loved ones who really don't know what is good and bad. And they, mess your life, they ruin your life, they damage you in a lot of ways. So we shouldn't use the same yardstick to measure all experiences and all situation. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, I mean, our loved ones can be at fault, our loved ones can do mistakes, our loved ones can be toxic. Yeah. So yes, this is what, makes it very difficult for the victims to accept that their loved one is a narcissist. Lots of triangulation, gaslighting, manipulation, cognitive dissonance, the narcissist shapeshifting, the narcissist withholding love and affection, then throwing tiny bits of, breadcrumbs. So you are confused and you are unable to come to a conclusion. Plus, the society, the people around, they, further, confuse you and gaslight you. And it gets even more difficult for you to see through. Yeah. It gets difficult for you to see who they are, who they truly are. Yeah. So yes, this was it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.